it's Twanna kind of Facebook, so we'll see how this works today. As I said, I am a career and anxiety coach, and I help professional women who are fed up with their anxiety. To YouTube and welcome to Facebook as well. Say, but it's okay. We still get out what we need to get out, right? So today, we're now, you know that I've been talking about building resilience as a way to manage anxiety, to manage the fear, because most of us have been affected by COVID. All of us, one way or another, have been affected by COVID. And so a lot of people are just feeling like a lot of feelings um and got a feedback from somewhere. So I'm not sure where that's coming from. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. So if you hear the feedback, let me know, right? And I will try to connect. Resilience is ability to bounce back stronger, not just bounce back, but really to go through challenging times and bounce back stronger than what you were before. And it's like, why do you want to bounce back stronger than what you were before? It's because you really do. If you're overwhelmed now, you don't want to go through something and bounce back to where you are now and be overwhelmed, right? You want to be a little bit stronger. And that's kind of what resilience does. It makes you bounce back stronger. So I've been talking about a number of things. There are like 6 building blocks to resilience. And so, I've been talking about the vision and the health, and we've talked about composure and collaboration. And so tonight we're going to be talking about reasoning. It's like, why reasoning? Right? Because reasoning is important to being able to manage that anxiety, right? I see Jasmine, they're back stronger than we were before, right? And so when we say that, what we mean is that resilience is not like a one-shot deal where you just do it once and you got some and you're done. Really, resilience is a process. You build it over time, and you go through things. And you don't have to wait until you're like in challenging times or things are messed up or something unexpected is happen. You build resilience over time, all the time. You're always forward focusing. When I talked about resilience as one of the vision as one of the building blocks of resilience, we talk about a resilient vision. Why is that important? Because you always want to have a vision, somewhere you're going. You want to have a goal set, so that as you're building resilience, you always want to have that goal set. Hello, Jazz, and thanks for joining. And so again, resilience is not a one-shot deal where I built some resilience up 2 years ago, so I'm good to go. No, you always want to be working on building your resilience, right? And so today we're actually talking about reasoning, right? And so what do we mean when we say reasoning? And I do have a couple of screens, correct? I have 3 actually. So I'm gonna be bouncing around looking. And so you see me looking away, it's because I do have 3 screens going tonight, because I'm trying to be super technology here. Hi, Alex. Thanks for joining. So when we talk about reasoning is the ability to think creatively and to adapt to sudden changes or unexpected problems or unexpected situations like COVID. You know, Nobody really expected this, I don't think, back in November. And some people may have heard a little bit of the little tinklings or what have you out of China in December, but this wasn't something that we were all fully expecting 5 months ago, 6 months ago. So when you talk about an unexpected situation, COVID really has been an unexpected situation. And so we have a lot of people, their feelings are all over the map, right? Just all over. Some people are experiencing fear. It's just a knot of fear in their stomach. Other people are just experiencing, like, I can't explain what I'm experiencing. My routine is gone. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. I'm fearful. Some people eat too much. Some people are not eating at all. Some people are not drinking the amount of water. And then there are people around you who are sick, and some of you are losing relatives and friends and family members and whatnot. And so it's just creating a lot of emotional turmoil that is going on, right? And so what we talk about when we say reasoning is really the ability to think creatively to get through this, right? And so it's as much as everybody would love to say that, oh, give it a couple of weeks and this thing will be buried, done, and we'll be over it. It's probably not the reality, right? It's not the reality. So you need to be to get through it, but on the other side, come out stronger, come out with a more resilience than what you had before. And so reasoning is a way to do that, right? So reasoning is about thinking creatively. We often hear people say, think outside of the box. You know, yes, think outside of the box is one way of doing it. Being able to find resources, being able to, find people who can help you, thinking creatively. And I know a lot of people are just like doing this time. They're just like, I just want to ball up in a little knot and just stay there with the covers pulled over my head until this thing blows over. Now, it's okay to do that for a couple of minutes, right? But you can't stay there for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, 4 months or whatever. So you really got to go through and, increasing your ability to reason will help you to do that, right? So why is that? If you have high ability to if you have high reasoning, you build confidence in your abilities, in your ability to move forward, in your ability to solve problems, and right with people to get new resources to get you going through and make it through where you are, right? And so there's no harm, there's no shame, no foul in being afraid. There's no shame. Some people are crying, you know. Okay, yeah, it's just emotional right now. It's just a lot of emotions going through us. And some of us, most of us, many of us, right, are teleworking. That's a whole change to the new routine. Many of us, like 6.1 million people in the United States, file for unemployment. So it's like 6 million people who don't have a job at all. Talk about stressful. Talk about a time when it's necessary to get through reasoning. How do I balance my finances and how do I take care of myself, or how do I take care of relatives, and how do I get through social, distancing? We get through it by developing our reasoning as a way to build our resilience to get through tough times, right? So again, some of the feelings that people are feeling, fear, just doubt, eating too much, not eating enough, not sleeping enough, sleeping too much, right? Some people, I find that some of my clients may be a little embarrassed, but there's nothing wrong. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. You feel what you feel. And this is just like unprecedented for most of us. We've never gone through anything like this. And really, for a moment, you just feel what you feel. Your feelings are true. Whatever they are, your feelings just are true. You feel what the thing is you can build resilience. You can build reasoning, and you can build collaboration. You can build your vision as a way to get stronger and build your resilience so you can go through this, right? And so it's not just about getting through and eking through, it's really going through this and bouncing back stronger than you were before so that you're ready for the next challenge. Because if there's nothing else that COVID has done for us, it is definitely challenging, right? A lot of people are at home together for the first time in a long time. People have their kids. Some people have their kids at home, and you've got 2, 3, 4 kids, and everybody needs a computer, and you're trying to telework at the same time. And that's tough to get through. And on the other side of it, there are people who are teleworking and they're at home and they're alone for the first time. They're used to going to work, and that's most of us get our socialization from work. So one of those, human basic needs that we have is to be connected to others, to have that social connection or work connection. And some people are at the house alone, and that's a new thing. And it can be very isolating if you're not on the phone talking to people, and so one of the things that you do is use your reasoning to build in that contact, right? You really got to be creative about it, because I know a lot of parents that say, I don't want my kids to have a lot of screen time, right? And so how do you now keep them in contact with their parents, with their grandparents, or with the non-custodial parent, or with the aunts, or with the uncles? We got to do that through screen time, either a telephone or a laptop. So it is about being creative and about what do we change and being able to adapt. Reasoning allows you to think creative and to adapt. And again, to build that strong sense of confidence that we'll get through this. We'll make it. We'll do okay. It may be tough. It may be hard, but we'll get through this. We'll bounce back, and we'll bounce back in a stronger position than what we were before. So those are just my nuggets to you today. You know, when it comes to fear and it comes to down anxiety, there's just lots of things that you can do, right? Different things work for different people. Hey, Janet, thanks for joining. And so, I hear a lot of people say, oh, do that. What I tell my clients is you got to do what works for you. You really got to do what works for you. And so, if for you getting up every morning and getting dressed as if you're going to the job and then sitting down to telework, if that works for you, then that's what you got to do because that works for you. For some people, this is like, yes, I get to work in my PJs all day long. If that floats your boat, then you got to do you, correct? Now, we'll say that for a lot of people that are unfocused, it's like, I cannot focus. I just really have problems focusing now. And if you have ADHD or ADD, it is like two, three, fourfold over that, correct? And so what I do recommend to my clients is if you're at home and you're teleworking and you're having difficulty focusing, right? Yes, you got to build up those reasoning skills. Be creative with your scheduling. Understand that most of us are our scheduling is kind of done for us through the job. It's just there. If you go to school, you already had a schedule. If you had a job, you already had a schedule. And so one of the things that I recommend doing is building a routine through your scheduling, because all of our routines build a schedule at home, but it depends on who you are and what kind of schedule you want. Some of my clients are like, nope, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, I'm doing this. 9 o'clock, I'm doing that. 10 o'clock, I'm doing that. 12 o'clock, I'm doing this. 1 o'clock is here. Break is at 12:15. If that's your thing for your schedule and you need to have that hour by hour schedule so you know where you're going and what you're doing, great. That works for you. For some people, they're like, I got to do that work all day long. I don't want to do that at the home. That's fine. For you, some of you may need a goal. Okay, from 7 in the morning to 9 o'clock, I want to have this done. And then I want to take a break at 9 o'clock. And then 9:15 to 11 o'clock, I want to have this much done. And then I'm going to break at this time. And then from this time to this time, I'm going to have this much done. And then at this time to this time, I'm going to answer emails at the end of the day, right? Or answer emails, at the beginning of the day or wherever you want to put it. So whatever works for you, that's what you have to do. For other people, the Pomodoro method is a great method. If you try to get back on schedule, and that is, just really sit down and work for about 20 minutes starting off, right? Every 20 minutes, take a 5 to 10 minute break, right? 5, 10 minute break. Then you go back and you work another 25 minute chunk. You take another 5 to 10 minute break. You go back, you work another 20 to 25 minute chunk. And in an hour and a half, you've got some good time. You've got some great work done. You've been focused. You know what you're doing, and you can look back and see accomplishment. It's a really great method when you're trying to work and you're not focused or you're not disciplined because you don't have the supervisor there looking at you, or you don't have all your coworkers around you working. So you kind of work too because that's what your coworkers are doing. So those are just some ways I recommend that you introduce a routine back to your day, because really, whether you're aware of it or not, 55 to 95% of what we do every day on a day-to-day basis is subconsciously done. We don't even think about it. It's like you get in the car, you at your job, you don't remember how you got there. That's because subconsciously your brain already knows where to go, what to do, what turn to take, how long that light's going to be. Especially if you commute to work, right? If you look to your left and your right, there are times you're going to work with the same people. That's because it's a routine. And when your routine is interrupted, you do feel lost. You do feel anxious and you're not able to focus. So you have to artificially put in your routine to your day. Pomodoro method helps with that. You can have an hour by hour routine to help with that, or you can have a time slot. I want to do this much and this much and this much. But however you do it, introduce routine. Remember that our kids too were on a routine. School is a routine. Daycare is a routine. So routine, establishing one, and really if you can get the collaboration, which is another resilience building block, collaborate with the family to kind of schedule when you want to do what you want to do. Give everybody input, because remember, as parents, yes, our routines have been washed away, but so have our kids, right? And introducing a routine as soon as you can. And it's not saying that once you institute the routine, don't change it, but change it so that it works for you. right? And for those people that are at home, finding at home alone, you got to be creative in the way that you stay connected. If you have a pet at home, do take the time, if you're allowed, depending on where you are, to go walk your pet. Your pet will enjoy it, and so will you, right? Just make sure you're not anxious. Start a routine. That's pretty much going to get you on the right track. And once that's established, you just shift and alter as you need to. Okay. So thanks for joining me today. Those just kind of my words. I call them my motivational nuggets, helping you to build reasoning, being creative in how you problem solve, doing unexpected problems or situations, build your confidence so you can manage anxiety, so you can manage the fear, manage the doubt, eat like you're supposed to, exercise, get enough sleep. And sometimes, like they say, sometimes courage is not loud. It's just that quiet voice that says, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll fight again. Sometimes go to bed, sleep on it, get up the next day and come back in and fight again. So more than welcome, more tips and strategies and things to manage anxiety and to build your resilience. So again, I'm Twanna Carter, career and anxiety coach. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.